we cannot hear you. Can you keep talking, Nebosha? We're going to raise the volume. ¿No le escuchamos?
Am I audible? Is this do you want lower, higher? This is my
Okay.
normal speaking volume, but I can also speak up if necessary.
Okay, Nebosha, can you repeat again? No.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Can you hear Nebosha in the background?
I can also try to speak up. It's also fine.
No, it's fine. Like it's more about the volume of the speaker. Okay, so now you're audible and you can hear us.
I can hear you.
You can do whatever you
want. Okay, can you give my returning officers co-hosting rights and yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so please log into NemoVote. We're gonna wait for 5 minutes for the roll call there. So you have 5 minutes to get there. This would give people that are joining online enough time to settle in as well, that you receive your voting cards. If you're missing any. Oh, and the order in the room that I remembered, now you switched. So now I need to remember it again. Oh, well. So I will use the time to remind everyone that we don't have president sessions tomorrow. That means if you did not have a chance to discuss your mandates, your task force proposals, any other business proposals that can be there, okay, apparently there are more people waiting in Zoom. So can you please give co-hosting rights to returning officers or accept people? Yeah, so back to this. The deadline for the motions for tonight, for tomorrow's plenary, is in like 5 hours or so. And motions for mandates and task forces are rather complicated and prone to interpretation, whether or not they are valid. So I highly recommend that you submit them earlier and you share them with the rest of the NMOs as soon as possible. So that there are no surprises and that we do not have to have a discussion in the plenary sessions. However, depending on the contents and like the amount of mandates, task forces, etc., we'll discuss with the president sessions team how we can facilitate an informal kind of discussion time outside of the plenary sessions, but in the same time, so that you know, we have informed decision making. Right. Other than that, we've made some changes for the plenary review of motions, let's say. CCC is getting them as they are coming in, and they'll be checking as well, like constantly the motions tab where they're coming in. They're writing the validity and they're reaching out to all those that are submitting their motions. So if you submit a procedural motion, please either get in touch with me or some member of the CCC. CCC sent in the president's group who is their contact person for the NMOs. They'll be reaching out to you either on WhatsApp or email. I'm not sure what they prefer, but probably email. But please, if you submit a procedural motion, make sure that it's valid in the sense of following if TCC is confirming this with you or not. I will also be sharing those as we get them in the president's master sheet, so you can see what's coming up. Right now we have some procedural motions that are there. And yeah, we have 40 minutes before dinner break. So we're gonna try to be efficient. Try being the optimal word there. The regional director's reports quorum interpretation is, well, not quorum interpretation, but like process, if we do not have quorum, is rather complicated. So we would prefer that we have quorum. And as I wrote in the email, RDs and all the NMOs, we will need your assistance in achieving this. Otherwise, you will have to get used to a new process for adopting regional directors' reports, which we would not like to see. So we will need 1/3 of NMOs with voting rights from each region, not right away, but like for the motions, meaning we would need, as I wrote in the email, 5 NMOs from Africa, 4 NMOs from Asia Pacific, 6 from Americas, 4 from EMR, and 12 from Europe to be able to vote on RD's reports. If we don't have those, as I said, the process gets a lot more complicated and includes online voting. By online, I mean outside of the plenary sessions procedure, which is complicated, as I said. Now, we have 39 NMOs on Nemo vote, which is enough to record the roll call. So I'm gonna take this 39 NMOs online, and now it's 41. Okay, 41
Hi,
NMOs
could you share
online.
your screen at this point so everyone can see?
Yeah, I'm just finishing roll call. Okay, I'm recording now. Final time. 43 and 44 NMOs online. Of those, we have 44 with voting rights. Just gonna copy this where I need to. Please remain on NimboVote so that we can see regionally. And I'm gonna share screen. We have 4 animals here. Africa 1, EMR 5, Americas 9, Europe 24, and Asia Pacific 4. Okay. So right now we don't have quorum for Africa. RD Africa, if RD Africa is present, or VPM. Are you aware if there is any chance that we can get 5 animals from Africa to be present and working with us?
If MSA BPM, yeah, if maybe we can start with the other regions, we can try to bring members from Africa.
Yeah, okay. Just 1 second. Why can't I? CCC?
Yes, Paulina from the CCC. We just wanted to inform all the NMOs that the voting rights had changed and that a few new NMOs had gained voting rights, just if someone is confused why the number of NMOs is 88. So for plenary for Assam, Costa Rica, IS Niger, Haiti, ACMS Albania, and IFMSA Honduras have gained voting rights.
Okay, thank you. So,
Just to clarify, the quorum is 30, right?
Yes.
Noted. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go with the RD reports as shared. so that people can ensure that they are here and we finish this. Even though RD Africa motion is first, it's up to me to decide after oral agreement with the room that we postpone this motion a little bit and that we proceed with the next motion first. So do I have any objections in the room about this? SMS Malaysia?
A point of information, can I ask to have a speakers list before the RDO?
Before which RD vote?
Before, like, in general, the RD vote, so that we can speed up the process for.
Okay, so we can have a speakers list, but please, animals from Asia Pacific, Americas, EMR, and Africa, don't leave. We're very close to quorum there, so stay with us for the next 30 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna open a speakers list, and after that, unless there is there some objection to this, I'm gonna skip RD Africa motion for now and proceed with RD Asia Pacific as the first motion. All clear? Okay, I'm skipping this and we're moving to speakers list. SMS Malaysia, you want to speak first? Okay.
Yeah, am I able to do so now?
Yeah, so we're moving to speakers list.
Sorry.
Raise your hand if you want to be on speakers list. There is a point of information in the comments. So Malaysia, you're on the speakers list. Yeah, you're not. Okay. Malaysia, you have the floor. Nobody else would like to speak.
Can I start now?
Yep.
All right, so dear IFMSA family, this statement is on behalf of IFMSA Pakistan, AMSA Philippines, BMSS Bangladesh, AMSA HK Hong Kong, IFMSA Japan, SMAS Malaysia, AMSA Singapore, CHIMSA Indonesia, and FMS Taiwan. We hope everyone attending in person has been enjoying MM24 thus far. Though most of the AP members are unable to attend physically, our bonds are still connected by the unwavering passion we have towards the federation we call our family. Unfortunately, as you might have seen yesterday, we were unable to adopt the Asia Pacific Regional Director midterm report due to not having an adequate number of animals to reach the necessary quorum. This has been disheartening for us, not because none of us showed up, but many of us simply could not physically stay awake to be present in this assembly that symbolizes our democracy. To let everyone know, due to time zone differences, most of the AP members started the plenary around our midnight. Despite knowing that it will affect our sleep, we wanted to be actively engaged in our federation's largest decision-making body. What has that led to? Almost 9 hours worth of waiting and bureaucratic processes, which troubles even getting some of the simplest motion passed. We value the platform that the plenary gives us, but we urge everyone to reflect on what we are doing in the name of preserving democracy. Some of us stayed up the entire night waiting to vote for our RD's report. Some of us had to take a nap whenever we could just to stay awake throughout the entire thing. Some of us even had to continue our clinical rotations the next day concurrently while tuning into the plenary. Where do we draw the line between being professional and going on board with excessive scrutiny of our decision-making system? Should a minor error really have to be a blown-out hour-long discussion, pushing our already sleep-deprived members and officials to their absolute limit? The saddest thing is that those AP animals who stayed until the end didn't even get to vote on our RD's report. All of us are drowned in the confusion and interpretations on where we should go moving forward. We would like to take this opportunity to thank the plenary team and the CCC for their immense patience in explaining the procedures to us despite being down on manpower, operating with minimal rest and poor time zone. IFMSA is and always should be striving to be accessible to everyone regardless of background and origin. When physical and mental health are on the line, let's think if what we are doing truly outweighs the stress that we induce ourselves. Thank you, and let's work together to make our federation a better place.
Thank you. And with that, we conclude the speakers list and we proceed to the first motion. Please, animals from Asia Pacific, make sure you're logged in onto the platform. CCC, we have 5 animals from Asia Pacific online right now, Nemo vote, meaning we should have quorum. Can you confirm?
Yes, we have quorum.
Okay, thank you. Motion reads to adopt the midterm. Wait, I'm gonna read. Sania, did you number the motions in Nemo vote?
I have not, so I'm going to wait for you and then
So because we moved RD Africa, this one's first. To adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Asia Pacific 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly, March meeting 2024. Tabled by IFMSA TO, do you want to explain? IFMSA TO, do you want to explain?
No, we would not like to explain.
Okay. Do we have a seconder? The seconder needs to be from the region itself. Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan. Okay, do we have any amendments? No. Do we have a direct negative? I don't see a direct negative. CCC, because there is no direct negative, do we need to proceed to a regional vote first, or this motion passes Nemo contra?
This was the
This-
regional vote. We need to.
Oh, you want this? Okay. So now we're going again through the motion maze to confirm that now that the motion passed by the region, that the motion would pass also through the General Assembly. So motion number 2, to adopt the midterm report for the Regional Director for Asia Pacific 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2024. Quorum for this motion is 30 from 1/3 of NMOs with voting rights from all regions, and all regions can participate in this motion. Tabled by IFMSA TO. Do you want to explain?
No, we would not like to explain.
Okay, is everybody clear what's going on? So we first go for each RD through a motion for the region, then we do the same, except that's a motion for everybody. Is that clear? Hands up if it's not. Okay. Do we have a seconder? MSI India. Do we have any amendments? No. Do we have a direct negative? From Croatia. Sania, we proceed to a vote.
yes. To clarify, the regular motion number is 2.
Yep.
Awesome. I am opening the vote.
Great point of order for myself. Do we have an alternative motion? No. Sonia, you can proceed with the vote.
Awesome. Please log into the Nemo vote. Your voting platform should be ready. We are still lagging behind in the votes. If you have not voted yet, kindly log into the Nemo vote and complete your voting.
Keep in mind, even though this is a vote for RD Asia Pacific, all of you with voting rights are able to vote. And for that, since we had, how many was it? 44.
We are still at 32, 10 more to go. I am going to wait for 10 more seconds.
Three, two, one. Please close the call. We have 39, I think. which is enough.
Yeah, I am going to read out the votes. In favor, 28. Against, 1. Abstain, 10. Total, 39. Motion passes with a simple majority.
Yeah. We're moving on with the next one. All animals from Americas, please log into NemoVote. Make sure you're there. There is someone speaking, I'm not sure who.
Yeah, just a minute. The noise will go off. Yeah, it should be fine now.
Okay, CCC, I see 10 animals online on NemoVote. Please confirm that's a quorum.
For the Americas, the quorum is 6. We therefore have quorum.
Thank you. So this is only related now for adoption by the region. So regular motion number 3, to adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Americas 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly, March meeting 2024. Proposed by IFMSA TO. Do you want to explain?
No, we would not like to explain.
Okay. Do we have a seconder? What organization from Brazil is that? I can't read. Can someone say? Who's placed there? Is it then in Brazil? Or
It
IFMSA?
can only be done in Brazil. IFMSA Brazil doesn't have voting rights.
It is
Thank
done
you,
in
CCC.
Brazil.
Thank you, CCC. So then in Brazil, do we have any amendments? I see none. Do we have a direct negative? Reminder, only animals from the region can direct negative this. I see none. Therefore, this motion passes Nemo contra for the region. Now we will do the same. Except this motion is for all. So motion number 4, to adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Americas 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly, March meeting 2024. Proposed by IFMSA TO. Do you want to explain?
No, we would not like to explain.
Do we have a seconder? All animals can participate in this vote. Slamsic Slovenia. Do we have any amendments? I see none. Do we have a direct negative? I don't see any direct negatives in the room. Okay, therefore motion passes Nemo contra. The report is adopted. Point of information from SIMSA Switzerland? Or
just a point of information, because you copied it, it still says animals with voting rights, America's regional animals. Shouldn't it read all animals?
yeah, thank you.
I think that happened before as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep it in mind to change that when I copy. Okay, that still makes the previous one valid. So this is now motion
Fifth.
number 4 or 5. Yes.
No, this is 5th.
Yeah, motion number 5 related to RDEMR report. Please, animals from the region log into NemoVote. There are 4. CCC, is that quorum?
For EMR, we need 4, so it is exactly quorum.
Okay, I just dropped one person, got one NMO. Can you get back on NemoVote? Yes, okay. Okay, we have 5 now. Perfect. So we have quorum, we're proceeding related to the region. So I'm just gonna write. make it clear. So to adopt the midterm report from the regional director for the EMR ad interim 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2024, proposed by IFMSA Theo. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Do we have a seconder? Only animals from the region. So Panama, you can't. IFMSA Kurdistan. Do we have any amendments? Person raising their voting hand, they're raising their hand on Zoom with their only their name. Please rename yourself, as I cannot identify you. Same applies for anyone else that is in Zoom and doesn't have the name like all the other NMOs. The link for that was shared in the president's master sheet. You can find there the naming. So do we have a direct negative? I don't see a direct negative, therefore this motion passes nemo contra. Okay. Just going to correct this. Now we're moving to adopting this report as a General Assembly. So this is regular motion number 6 to adopt the midterm report from the regional director for the EMR ad interim 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2024. All animals with voting rights can participate in this motion. This is tabled by IFMSA Theo. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Do we have a seconder for this motion? IFMSA Morocco. Do we have any amendments? I don't see any amendments. 1, 2. No amendments. Do we have a direct negative? I don't see any. Therefore, this motion passes nemo contra and the report is adopted officially. Moving on to regular motion number 7, European NMOs, please remain on the Nemo vote platform. This is 25 NMOs present out of 36. That is definitely quorum. So regular motion number 7 related to regional adoption, to adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Europe 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2024, tabled by IFMSA Theo. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Okay, do we have a seconder? European NMOs only. Wow, that's a lot. Who didn't I pick before? IFMSA Sweden. Didn't see you before. So do we have any amendments? No. Do we have a direct negative? IFMSA Spain. Do we have an alternative motion? No. Therefore, we proceed to a vote. Sonia, whenever you can, only for European animals.
Awesome. Could you just tell me the regular motion number?
7.
Noted. I am opening the vote. Wait, I think we'll have to stop this because I'm seeing we need a point of order for this. We need to stop this vote.
Okay. You see too many animals.
Yeah, there were people like I'm
Yeah.
going to reopen this.
So we are allowed to vote twice, so I don't think this is working right for anyone.
You were able to vote twice for the motion on Nemo vote?
Yeah, we are closing the motion and reopening it.
Okay.
Could you tell me the regular motion number, please?
Number 7. Kazakhstan, you have a raised hand.
Yes, I have a question. Like, in this case, only European countries are allowed to vote, or we also can vote?
It needs to be all European countries, animals, and I think it was all animals were able to vote. That's why we're having a point of order from Sania.
Oh, okay. Thank
And
you.
also, I may say Spain is saying they were able to vote twice or access the platform. So we're restarting the vote.
I am reopening the vote.
Okay.
Please, European animals, please log into the Nemo vote.
Sania, do you have enough?
We have 21. We could wait for 10 more seconds.
Okay, there were about 25, I think, online when I was checking.
Okay, so I think we are closer. Wait for 5 more seconds. I am now closing the vote. We have 20 animals in favor, 4 animals against, 0 animals abstaining. Total number of animals voting on this is 24. The motion passes with a simple majority for the European region.
The report is still not officially adopted, as this is only the first round of voting, but this motion passes. So we are going to the next point, which would be relevant to all NMOs and the adoption. Wait, wrong one. Okay, it gets put here. So relevant motion to all NMOs, deleting excess information. Yeah. So motion number 8 to adopt midterm report for the regional director for Europe 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly March meeting 2024, tabled by IFMSA Theo. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? IFMSA Spain. Do we have any amendments? No. Do we have a direct negative? Composite ratio? Do we have an alternative motion? No, therefore we proceed to a vote. This is relevant to all animals, so all animals with voting rights should be able to access the vote. Sonia, can you double check the option?
Yes, I wanted to double check.
Number 8.
Yeah, it's 8. I am opening the vote.
Yeah, how's the vote?
Yeah, we have 40 animals voting. I'm going to close in 5 seconds. I am closing the vote. In favor, 34. Against, 5. Abstain, 1. Total number of animals voting, 40. With this, the motion passes with simple majority and the report should be adopted.
Thank you. So, it is 8 minutes until dinner time, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have one regional director report left. However, as of right now, we do not have quorum for me to introduce that motion. EB, can you confirm that you can reach out maybe after the dinner? So what I will do instead now is announce what was said in the president sessions for AM24, which is that the chair will facilitate an informal vote over Google form for you to be able to provide direction for the executive board of IFMSA on what to do regarding the contract with FIMSIC Finland for the hosting of AM24. Those of you that were not there in person during the were not there during the OSD, the president sessions, I'm just gonna showcase the Google form. Okay. I want to show it to everyone so you can let me know if something is unclear. I can't open it and share it with you directly because then someone might fill it in and I don't want to do that and create a new form and share a new form. So we're all gonna look at it together. If anything is unclear and you want clarifications in the voting process, please let me know. So the form was created by the EB. I mostly copied it, so I have only the access to the votes. The votes will not be disclosed to anyone. And the voting, EB wants the voting for all full associate and candidate members that are not suspended. And the vote will be open until March 6th, 2024, 8 a.m. Ecuador or 1300 GMT. Are you fine with this deadline for voting? Would you prefer a different one? FIMSING Finland has expressed their desire to have this vote completed and announced the results before the presentation of AM24, as the result has an impact on the presentation. So, any problems with the deadline? No? Okay. I see no hands raised. Okay, now this is what's going to be written there. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna read in case someone cannot see. So, do you agree to the following GA readjustment proposal for the enshrined in the amended AM24 contract between IFMSA and FIMSIC Finland following AM24? Wait, you know what I can do? Okay, I'm sharing this in the heads of delegation group so you can follow along, and maybe even presidents. Okay, so this is what's going to be written there. You have the picture in the president's group, so you can check the text. Annex 6 contract between IFMSA and General Assembly meeting. The fee for early registration shall not exceed, and it changes from 125 to 145, from 225 to 260, and 290 to 335 for the respective categories. The plenary team will be responsible to communicate the results by the end of plenary 5, and the achievement of this vote, or let's say the results of this vote would inform the EB about direction preferred by the NMOs and empower them to amend or not the contract between IFMSA and FIMSIC. We would like to emphasize the consequences of the vote. In case the majority prefers to increase the GA fees, the IFMSA EB will amend the contract accordingly, and no further amendments will be done, meaning that in case with the increase of the fees, the AM24 OC is still unable to cover the expenses, the EB is not going to amend the contract again to increase the fees. This is the consequence of you voting in favor of this informal vote, and if it has an absolute majority. In case the absolute majority is not reached, in case the majority do not prefer to increase the fees, the EB will not amend the contract, and the OC has already explained the consequences. So I'm going to clarify somewhere here that absolute majority is necessary. Okay, in case the absolute majority do not prefer to increase the fees. Hopefully that's clear. Votes are in favor, against, abstain. Any questions on the informal vote, how it's going to be done? No? All good? Okay. In 2 minutes, we have a break for dinner. Room for anyone to ask any questions? No. If you have a procedural motion, please approach us. You've been informed if the ones that you shared are invalid, or if you need to have another NMO proposing them. and we will try to start with RD Africa report after. If we cannot, we will explain the future process to you during that time and proceed with other points. That's it. Break for 2 hours until the end of dinner. We will start at, I need to confirm the time. I see Tefo is running. The time will be 3 GMT or 22 local time.
Nabosha, I think we have a point of information that possibly we have 5 NMOs from Africa right now online. But not all of them have access to NemoVote. CCC or anyone in person, either Subco, can you please update us about the situation? If anyone is speaking in the room, we can't hear.
A small announcement, we need 2 minutes to discuss the issue with the plenary team.
Okay, so I believe the process that you're proposing is possible. So the thing is, they do not have access to NemoVote, and to speed this up, we do have 5 NMOs that can vote, but for various reasons, they are unable to right now get to NemoVote. So for us not to wait, the proposal is that we do not do a secret vote. In other words, not through NemoVote, but we do raising hands. So regarding this, I believe it may be possible. Just need to check another paragraph about the reports adoption.
Can we also have CCC interpretation of this?
Yes, we are looking at it right now.
I mean, we can also have voting on paper, but it's very because by ballot can mean on paper, as you do in most countries with elections, or it can be using electronic devices. It would be
Hey,
simpler
Nebo.
if raise hand. Yes,
This
CCC.
is Theo. Under 3.43, as you can see, voting is either done by raising their voting cards. So during the circumstances that we are in, the NMOs from the Africa region can raise their hands if they're in Zoom, and these can be considered as voting. So we can proceed with voting under 3.43 of the FMSA Constitution and bylaws, if that's okay with the FMSA BNTO, if they want to proceed that way.
When it says consultation with NMOs, does it refer to all NMOs or those to whom the motion is relevant?
In this case, since we're talking about an emotion that is concerning the animals of the Africa region, 3.43 applies to the regions of Africa. If we were talking about the emotion that would adopt the RD report from all animals, then we would consider the consultation with all animals. But for this point we're in, only the animals from the Africa region.
Okay, in that case, animals from Africa region that are here, can you raise your hand first to see who is here, to see, confirm that we have 5 NMOs with voting rights present? Zimsa Zimbabwe, Nimsa Nigeria. I see you here.
Malawi.
Malawi, Sudan.
One.
CCC, what's the quorum? 5?
Quorum for the region
The
of Africa
quorum.
is 5. Yes.
Okay, we have 4 on Zoom. We would need more.
We would need one more. Malawi, could you keep your hands raised? Thank you.
We're still not at the point of confirming quorum. We're still determining if quorum exists. So that's why we're not failing this motion for now in this manner. Okay, what's the conclusion? Do we have the 5th NMO or do we break? Okay. IFMSA EB and SAPCO, can we then go for a break if what you're telling me is correct? I can check.
Could someone speak with a mic, because we really are not having any information unless someone has reached out with a chat.
MSA Malawi has voting rights right now. CCC, can you confirm?
Give us 2 minutes, we will check, get back to you.
Seeing the spreadsheet, they do. You need to rename yourself on Zoom if you have voting rights. But who would be the 5th NMO? We have 4 that raise their hands. Either someone is in Zoom and not raising their hand, or we do not have 5 NMOs and we need to go for dinner. Well, some of you need to go for dinner. IFMSA SAPCO is there, or IFMSA TO? Can you share with
Apparently Gambia is present in the Zoom room.
Okay, can
Yeah.
returning officers please check?
So
They
please
have
change your
checked.
name.
They have all raised their hands now.
Now
We
we
have 5 raised hands in the Zoom.
Yep, thank you. Just confirmation
MSC
that Malawi has voting rights and we can proceed.
yes, MSA Malawi has voting rights. We can proceed.
Okay. These 5 NMOs, NIMSA Zimbabwe, NIMSA Nigeria, MSA Sudan, MSA Malawi, and GAMSA Gambia, please remain in the call for the next 5 minutes maximum. And we will finish this. Lower your hands, and I need to get, okay, just lower your hands for now.
Mets in Sudan, please lower your hand for now.
So my question now is, do you object to, so do
No.
you, wait, we have to get confirmation from them. So the proposal is that you vote by raising your hands rather than using Nemo vote. Do you have any objections to that? If you do, raise your hand and speak. I wait for 5 seconds. Okay, I don't see anyone raising their hand. I'm gonna assume that they're okay with this process. So we are gonna proceed.
To the motion.
So this would be regular motion number 9. We have 5 NMOs from Africa present, which equates to quorum necessary for this motion. To adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Africa 2023-2024, written for the 73rd IFMSA General Assembly, March meeting 2024, tabled by IFMSA TO. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Do we have a seconder? Only NMOs from Africa may do that. No other NMO.
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe. Do we have any amendments? I don't see any. Do we have a direct negative? I don't see any. Therefore, this motion for the regional aspect passes Nemo contra. The report is still not adopted. Yes.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Motion number 10 that concerns all NMOs. Thank you, African NMOs, for joining us so late. So motion number 10 to adopt the midterm report from the Regional Director for Africa 2023-2024, written for the 73rd FMSA General Assembly, March meeting 2024, tabled by FMSA TO. Do you want to explain?
No, thank you.
Thank you. So this refers to all NMOs, so all NMOs can raise their, well, if they have voting rights, their voting cards now. Do we have a seconder? Meds in Sudan. Do we have any amendments? I don't see any. Do we have a direct negative? Reminder, this is for all NMOs. We have a direct negative? No. Therefore, this motion passes Nemo contra, and the RD Africa report is adopted. And with that, we conclude the agenda point of all tier reports. All reports were adopted. Thank you for collaboration. We break until the end of dinner in 2 hours almost. Well, a little less. So check the agenda.
Point of information?
Yes.
Could we request a speakers list?
Is it a very long statement?
Before going to break.
The statement would need to be 2 minutes.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna stop you after 2 minutes. So you can either have it later, or now it's gonna be 2 minutes and I stop you.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay. I have MSA Pakistan. Assume you want to be on the speakers list. Anyone else? Oh wow. I see some hand raised. Is that PPPRC? Is it the point of information or speakers list that you want to be on?
Speakers list, IFMSATO.
Okay. Right. So, I have Mrs. Pakistan, you have the floor, 2 minutes, same.
Thank you. Dear NMOs, we are making a statement on the CCC report that was shared earlier that lacked acknowledgement of violation of bylaw 2.25 for the MSAP application. We would like to address that interpretation that we were just made aware of. We will start by highlighting that the MRC did not reach out to us before the March meeting 24 to get content for their report. We do not know where they did receive this information from that they reported in their report. We made the VPM aware of this and then were asked about the matter and the questions, and we answered everything for the VPM report for the March meeting 24. The facts are in front of you, and at this point, we fail to recognize what is going on. Does MSAP represent different institutes? We said no at the AM23 and shared letters issued by MSAP claimed institutes to IFMSA Pakistan. 3 membership systems were introduced by the VPM 2022-23 and MRC, and our coordinator institutes were at that point not given recognition through the systems preferred by the VPM in order to justify the bylaw for MSAP. We weren't asked for MRC for MM24, we reached out to the VPM, and when we shared the list of institutes and regions represented, it was considered unclear. The students working under MSAP and MSAP claimed institute, such as King Edward and AJKMC, recently shared a press release announcing complete dissociation and highlighting their affiliation for IFMSA Pakistan. We shared a faculty letter from MSAP affiliated institute, Amiruddin, explicitly stating their affiliation with IFMSA Pakistan and not having anything to do with MSAP. CCC opts for an interpretation suggesting diverse institute representation, disregarding the institutional and student affirmations of affiliation with IFMSA Pakistan. While the institution and students align with IFMSA Pakistan, MRC and CCC adhere to MSAP representation. We are increasingly dismayed at this point by MSAP's dissemination of misinformation and the enabling structures rather than preventative measures, and at this point, this discrimination is becoming frustrating for us. MSAP does not represent different institutes, and it is in violation of bylaw 2.25a. Does MSAP represent different geographical areas, standing committees, or dependent territories?
Thank you.
No, it is.
You have to stop now. Inform you it's going to
Thank
be 2
you. I
minutes.
would
Please
do
send
the
your
rest.
statement. Yes.
Thank you. Okay.
CTO. Same thing, 2 minutes.
IFMSATO. Dear NMOs, this term has posed significant challenges for the team of officials marked by frequent changes in team composition and crisis management, alongside multiple incidents that were sometimes beyond our control. Most recently, we proudly organized an hybrid GA in record time. In only 2 weeks, the TO created 2 modalities for all sessions to accommodate all the delegates attending the GA. With the help of our ITs, STs, and SPs, some of them selected only a few days before the GA, we developed an online agenda as well as an in-person agenda, sometimes with multiple streams running in parallel. We would like to recognize the efforts of our STs and SPs and everyone involved in preparing this GA in record time. Sadly, we are encountering lower in-person and online attendance than the expected number of registered delegates. We understand that other obligations and the different time zones might affect your attendance. However, we ask you for your commitment to attend the sessions that you registered for, not to compromise the sessions. The reports that were just voted upon might give you a partial picture of the efforts invested of the workload we, the team of officials, have had in the past 6 months. IFMSA is composed of medical students or junior doctors. However, the workload of the TO aligns differently with a medical student or young professional agenda. Adding to the workload of each position, the TO has been constantly pressured to meet what seems unrealistic expectations of a number of the NMOs. It is important to reflect on each official work, communication, feedback delivery, and expectations from NMOs. We have encountered an alarming increase in violent communication towards the leadership, lack of patience, or even defamation at some points that created a discouraging and overwhelming working environment. Additionally, IFMSA efforts on EDI must apply to all members, and a more mindful consideration of the officials and the international teams' individuality, culture, and beliefs is needed. The team of officials and their teams are humans and medical students with personal and professional commitments, in addition to their voluntary work.
CTO, thank you. I said 2 minutes as well. Longer statements could have been had later, but now we're limited. We break for dinner for the in-person folks, and we come back at scheduled time in 1 hour, 40 minutes. Please return your voting cards to the CCC in person.
Please don't forget, if you go out of the room, during the plenary, please return your voting cards as well. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear us? Okay, Tashrif, thank you for confirming.